with 979 and touchdowns with just 8 last year. And on defense, they turned to Dan Quinn as the coordinator, taking over from Mike Nolan. Quinn inherits a defense that had one of the worst seasons in Cowboys history. And so as we consider this team that everyone always focuses so much on, Dan Quinn emerges, at least based upon the conversations that I've been having here, Damien Woody, as maybe the most important assistant coach in the National Football League. The amount that people are placing, the amount of confidence people are placing in his ability to take what was a terrible defense and turn it into one good enough to win the division is astonishing to me. Do you believe they can do it?
Absolutely, Greeny. Listen, I think Dan Quinn is a big piece of the puzzle. Listen, there's only one way to go with that Dallas defense, and that's up. But I look at on the offensive side of the football, we talk about Dak Prescott and what he means to that organization. But I look up front with the offensive line. This team, Greeny, had 3 guys, 3 of their best players on the team up front, missed significant parts of the season last year. Tyron Smith, Lael Collins, and Zach Martin. So getting those 3 guys back healthy and playing well up front is going to do wonders, not only for the Dallas offense and their running game and how they want to dictate the tempo, but also for their defense. If they're able to control the clock to keep that defense fresh, I think that defense will make strides. So to me, it starts up front, and obviously with Dak Prescott coming back and the leadership abilities that he brings to the table, I think this Dallas Cowboys team is going to win the NFC East and go 10-7.
The NFC East, says Damien Woody. Mike T, do you agree?
100%, and here's why. In 2015, Dan Quinn went to the Atlanta Falcons as the head coach. Falcons defensive coordinator was Mike Nolan. 2021, Dan Quinn goes to the Dallas Cowboys as defensive coordinator. He replaces Mike Nolan. They drafted 5 players on defense in the first 3 rounds, including Micah Parsons at linebacker, Kelvin Joseph at corner. I expect them to start right away. Even if Dan Quinn just gets them to average, and I expect them to be better than average, as D. Wood alluded to, they're going to be exceptional on offense, and average on defense gets them the NFC East title.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised by this conversation, Jeff Darlington, because June is always a great month for the Cowboys. They're always very, very good in June. So help us make some sense. Let's put the pick bars up there, guys, and let's see what everybody says. And Jeff Darlington, I'll give you the floor first. With your expectations for them this season, give us a record and tell us if you agree with this lunacy that we're hearing from your colleagues today.
Yeah, I thought I was the only lunatic, but clearly this is becoming a trendy thing because I actually think the Cowboys, I'm extremely bullish on them to the point where I picked 12-5 for their record for this year. I am a huge believer in Dak Prescott, and when we talk about last year and just the terrible outcome that was last year, like I don't understand why every time when we make fun of the Cowboys, we don't point out that they were without their franchise quarterback. There's not really a team in the NFL that can pull that off. I mean, it doesn't happen when you lose your franchise quarterback that you really end up with a good team. It's so rare. So I'm bullish on the Cowboys as well. I didn't realize that that my lunacy was met by my colleagues here today.
Well, I mean, they were. I hate to be the one who has to remind everyone that they were losing games even when they had him in the lineup, and they didn't win the division the year before either. But that said, Mike T, what is the Cowboys' record going to be this year?
It's going to be 11-6, and they're going to beat your Washington football team for the division because, as Jeff alluded to, they got the best quarterback in the division. Sometimes we complicate things, but they're going to have a young, improving defense and a top 5 quarterback with 2 number 1 receivers. So they win the division, and I think they're going to give Tampa Bay a hard time in the NFC.
It is going to take some getting used to seeing those numbers adding up to 17 at the bottom of our screen, but they are correct. Yeah, Damien Woody, how about you?
Well, listen, I'm not going to go as far as Mike T because I've been burned by the Cowboys before, but I do think that they're going to win the NFC East because, quite honestly, like Mike T alluded to, they have the best quarterback in the division. That's all I need.
All right, very simply, my pick is 9-8 because I couldn't go 8.5 and 8.5. They are always a 500 team. I should have, in retrospect, I should have done it. If we do this again in the next hour, change it. I should have given them a tie. 8-1. They are a 500 team. I would go 8-1 for the Dallas Cowboys if I had that to do again. I just admit it. I didn't think of it before we came on the air. Okay. In the meantime, huge news in the world of sports yesterday. Las Vegas Raiders defensive end Carl Nassib has become the first active NFL player to come out as gay. The 28-year-old Nassib made the announcement on Instagram yesterday afternoon.
What's up, people? I'm Carl Nassib. I'm at my house here in Westchester, Pennsylvania. Just want to take a quick moment to say that I'm gay. I've been meaning to do this for a while now, but I finally feel comfortable enough to get it off my chest. I really have the best life. I got the best family, friends, and job a guy could ask for. I'm a pretty private person, so I hope you guys know that I'm really not doing this for attention. I just think that representation and visibility are so important. I actually hope that like one day videos like this and the whole coming out process are just not necessary. But until then, I'm going to do my best and do my part to cultivate a culture that's accepting, that's compassionate, and I'm going to start by donating $100,000 to the Trevor Project. They're an incredible organization. They're the #1 suicide prevention service for LGBTQ youth in America, and they're truly doing incredible things. And I'm very excited to be a part of it, to help in any way that I can, and I'm really pumped to see what the future holds.
That was that post yesterday. The Raiders responded with a tweet saying, "They're proud of you, Carl." Nassib's former teammate at Penn State is Saquon Barkley. He tweeted, "Much respect, brudda." And Jason Collins, who in 2013 became the first NBA player to come out as gay, tweeted, "Very proud of Carl Nassib, incredibly happy for him and can't wait to watch him play this upcoming season." The commissioner of the NFL, Roger Goodell, released a statement saying the NFL family is proud of Carl for courageously sharing his truth today. Representation matters. We share his hope that someday soon statements like his will no longer be newsworthy as we march towards full equality for the LGBTQ plus community. We wish Carl the best of luck this coming season. We continue in a moment here on Get Up. The Ben Simmons